built to serve.
Back here, first things first, with Vincent Goodwill. It's time for us to go viral. So yesterday, we detailed the feud with the Grizzlies and Andre Iguodala. First, Ja tweeting out the Dylan Brooks comment saying he can't wait until Memphis deals Iggy so they can play them. Steph Curry stuck up for his guy, sending out this picture of Iggy on Instagram.
Surprised Steph can use Instagram with that horrifically broken hand that's kept him out for 2.5 years.
Yesterday, Ja fired back, tweeting out this picture of KD holding the Finals MVP trophy. Things are getting spicy,
I like
boys.
it. Listen, Ja is here for the smoke, and I'm all about it. I like it. This new generation, to Ja, Steph's an old man.
50.
What about 50?
50.
You think Steph's going to give him 50?
50. Easy.
How long is Steph going to be? I've seen a lot of guys this year injure their hand and seemingly come back.
He's going to play this year.
Yeah, but he's been out a long time. It's almost.
Are you saying this is a strategic absence, Nicholas?
It's almost like the Warriors looked at the landscape and looked at Steph Curry's injury as some type of blessing in disguise. Steph doesn't have to, deal with a losing season.
Steph's not rushing to get back.
Low management.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Do we have season ticket management? Do we have season ticket refunds? That new arena seems expensive. Now, I don't feel too terribly for the billionaires in Silicon Valley, but they're not all billionaires there. Some people up for deck seats thought they were going to get to see, a real life breathing Warriors team. But in their defense, a defensive player of the year and an all-star and Steve Kerr, you can expect them to win more than, 14 games.
But the food there is great, so there's
yeah, I'm sure.
You're a diabolical hater.
I'm not a hater, man. I just call it like I see it.
By the way,
you can call me a hater on one side and apologize for the Rockets. I just call it like I see it. Steph's just out a long time.
October 30th, the last game Steph Curry played.
Yeah.
Sticking with the NBA now.
Long absence.
And just when you thought the Rockets couldn't pull off a 14, 12-player trade, Vinny, the Rockets did just that. Trading away starting center Clint Capela to Atlanta, they get Robert Covington from the T-Wolves in return. Biggest NBA deal since the Knicks traded Patrick Ewing to Seattle back in 2000. Nick, did the Rockets improve their title chances with this move?
It's really, really tough because you don't know what you're going to get from Clint Capela. He's dealing with this foot injury and the plantar fascia, and there was real concern. They said he's not going to be back till the All-Star break, but I think there's real concern that you weren't going to get 100% Clint Capela all year long. The Rockets they are further pushing all in on a small ball, who gives a damn about rebounding. We're going to shoot 55 threes a game. Now, I do think they got better on the perimeter defensively. I know Rocco's been down for maybe a year and a half, but I think he's shown the ability to be the traditional 3-and-D player, one of the few pieces of the process in Philly that is like, oh, wait, we actually found a real live NBA player there, and his contract's a good value. But when I look at what you have to get through in the Western Conference, I would have liked to keep Clint Capela. I said to you yesterday, the Rockets, what they know more so than almost any other team out west is they've got a starting five who has been there that they believe in. And I know people crush them because they couldn't get past KD and the Warriors. But when you have Russ, Harden, Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, Clint Capela, those are all B-level players or above at what they do. And in the West these days, with Jokic, with Anthony Davis, it won't hurt you against the Clippers, I suppose, because they don't have a true big man that you go to. But the Rockets are going to place everyone 6'6" or below. It is a fascinating attempt at winning a championship, and it's unprecedented in modern NBA history to play a team as small as they're going to play.
That was a very long-winded way for Nick to say that he does not want to insult his buddy Daryl Morey and say that Daryl did something that makes absolutely no sense.
So you hate the trade?
It's not hate the trade because I didn't think they are any closer to winning the championship than they were before, because I didn't think they were closer to winning the championship.
Did they get further away?
Further, yeah, I think they do. Because here's the thing. Championship teams have to win more than one way. Golden State, for all of their three-point shooting and everything else, they were the best defensive team in basketball, and they could play so many different ways with different lineups that you couldn't prepare for them. It just looked pretty with Steph and Clay, and even later when KD got there. It's a completely different game for Houston. Their perimeter defense has gotten better, but I'm not going to call James Harden or Russ plus defenders perimeter-wise. James Harden's an underrated post defender.
He's a great post defender.
But how many guards are going to be posting you up in the postseason when it counts?
Well, at this point, he might be the power forward for the team. So So it might help him in that regard.
And my thing is, rebounding matters, shot blocking matters.
Rim protection matters.
Nick, a couple of segments ago and yesterday, railed on me about the Clippers not having a rim protector.
100% agree.
And the Rockets have no one. And you can talk about P.J. Tucker being your best defender and putting him everywhere. You're going to wear that man out.
You're right.
And the reason that Golden State's depth lineup worked with Draymond Green, Iguodala, Howard.
Draymond could rim protect.
He could rim protect, but B, you could do it in small doses. You did not have to play that for 36 to 38 minutes a night. Houston's going all in on a lineup that has a very short shelf life.
But Nick, you're an analytics guy, and when I first read this, I was like, oh, small ball, Nick's not going to like, oh, but I think there's a part of you that is looking forward to seeing how Daryl Morey's putting this team together, how they're going to do something different like they did before, and say maybe the three is going to end up taking us further.
Nobody's more of an analytics guy than Daryl. And this is just going all in on the math of what our deficiencies don't matter if we just bombard you with a shot that's worth 50% more than the shots you're taking, because it's not.
That's what this is.
That's all this is. But Vinny is absolutely right, which is why I did not sit here and say I love the trade, it's a home run, because I do think rim protection matters. I think Clint Capela had some tough moments in the postseason over the last couple years. We all know that. There were a couple moments where you wondered last season, like, really? You just got this new deal and really this is how you're playing? But he is at his best, at healthy, and maybe they didn't think they were going to get that, pardon me, again this year. He's a real viable rim defender. They now don't have that. Now, can you bombard a team with threes in a series? Sure. Can the Rockets do they still have Harden, who just dropped another 40 last night? Nobody cares. Russ coming off his best month with the team? Yes. But all roads go through the Lakers and the Bucks. If you're trying to win a championship, everything goes through those two teams. People talk about the Clippers all they want. The Lakers and the Bucks have been the two best teams in basketball.
So you mean to tell me, playoff series happens, Clippers, Rockets, you're taking Rockets?
I said before the year and right now, absolutely yes. But let's say I'm wrong. Let's say that
we don't have to say you're wrong. You're usually
but the point that I'm making is the two best teams in basketball both have dominant giant people. Anthony Davis and Giannis, and LeBron, who plays like a giant even if he's not a 7-footer. How are you going to offset that if your biggest guy on the court's 6'6"? I don't know. Well, it is now I think the Rockets would tell you in the critical moments against those teams, we were playing this lineup that we're going to be playing now anyway, that in our biggest spots. But your point that to play it in your biggest spots as opposed to the whole game, it's a big difference.
And here's the other part of it. Mike D'Antoni does not play, he doesn't have a long bench. So you're playing these guys long stretches of minutes, and you're telling me that you're going to get through 4 rounds of playoffs, 3 rounds of playoffs, let alone 2 rounds of playoffs. I can't see them getting past Rudy Gobert in Utah because size matters, especially in the postseason, where we all know what everybody's doing, and it comes down to execution. And yeah, while Houston can win you a game from the 3-point line, they can lose you another 2 when they miss 27 in a row, and you have no contingency plan on stopping the other team or even having another offensive strategy to manufacture points.
Well, the 27 in a row has happened one time in NBA history. Unfortunately for them, it happened in the biggest game the franchise has played in a quarter century. It was imperfect timing for them in that regard, but that's an anomaly. I think Daryl would tell you, and I haven't talked to Daryl. This trade happened basically overnight. I have not talked to Daryl. You're right. I do consider Daryl a friend, but I can separate that from the commentary here, that if they were to play Utah, if Utah wants to run 30 posts up for Rudy Gobert, Houston will be thrilled about it. I do think there's an element of that if when they play the Lakers, you're going to dump it down to JaVale a bunch of times because he has size advantage, they'll sign up.
But that's not a way you exploit size advantage by doing that.
No, it's exactly what I was about to say, is that the issue is going to be when one of the stars of the league comes flashing down the lane, who is meeting him at the rim. And Draymond, while undersized, Draymond was elite at that. And Draymond's taller than anyone the Rockets are going to be starting, even if it's marginally. And so, yeah, it's a roll of the dice. And it's one that I did not see coming as far as if you trade Capela, it's for Robert Covington. Now, they do have extra cap space. There is still now, another 30 hours until the trade deadline thereabouts. Maybe they have another move coming, but right now this team does appear to have a pretty significant hole at a pretty significant spot.
It strikes me as desperation.
Okay, well, you thought they were desperate anyway. You thought this was a one-and-done team anyway.
Well, here's the thing. I think people don't, and I'll give the Rockets this. Since they've acquired James Harden, they've been a pretty consistent contender, but those things have a shelf life. And sometimes you miss your best chance. Think about the Phoenix Sun teams of the 90s, the Sacramento Kings teams of the previous decade. Sometimes you get that one shot to topple the dynasty, you don't do it, and all of a sudden you're close and you never really get closer again. And I think that's huge.
I'll say this. I don't think they're done. I don't think it's impossible they win the title this year or next. But in all likelihood, the smart money, the best chance the Rockets ever had to win a title with this core was up 3-2, about to go up 3-2 on Golden State in 2018, about 8 seconds before Chris Paul pulled his hamstring. That probably, we're going to look back and say that's as good as it was, but this is now, they're adding more variance to it, maybe because they know they need to shake the snow globe a little bit to have a real chance against the best of the best in the NBA.
There's a team in the NFL that needs to shake the snow globe. It is the Cleveland Browns. Coming up, are Baker and Odell about to have a breakout season with their new head coach? That after what happened last year? That's next on First Things First.
Friend of the show, Baker Mayfield.